Getting into the creator economy in 2024? By the end of this video, you'll know how to use Canva to help you build your content empire. The creator economy is booming as we move into 2024. But if you're not already in the game, don't worry, because there's plenty of attention to go around for those who are good at it. While much of today's content stream is video with short form and long form, there's still a need for static content in the feed, in your stories, on carousels, and even in your videos. Plus, if you're primarily doing video, you're still going to need thumbnails, reel covers, graphics for your video, and even overlays. Here's what I'm going to cover in today's video. Number one, we're going to talk about what platforms you can use graphic content for and how Canva can help. Number two, we're going to talk about what content you can build with just Canva. Number three, we're going to talk about where you should start your content empire. So let's get started. While there's no shortage of content platforms, there is a shortage of the ones that actually matter. No matter the prominent style of content like video from TikTok or even more static posts like on LinkedIn, you're going to need some form of graphic content that you can build with Canva. These are the primary platforms that, one, I'll cover in this video, and two, are a great place to start. Now, YouTube is primarily video, and there's very little static content to it. With the help of Canva, you can build everything for your YouTube channel, including YouTube thumbnails, channel banner, profile image. You can even use it to build graphics and overlays for your videos itself. That's personally where I build all of my stuff for YouTube, both my thumbnails and any graphics that you happen to see in the video, unless it's some stock stuff that I found somewhere else. Plus, when you're making long-form videos on YouTube, you want to try and promote those on other channels, and Canva is a great place to build all that. Some of the other more popular platforms like Instagram and Facebook are also great for graphic content. You can post static images, carousels, and also videos to these two platforms. Canva can help you build things like your static posts, your carousel posts, graphics for your videos. On Instagram, you can build reel covers to make it stand out a little bit better on your profile page. You'll also need it for things like your logo or your profile image too to help make your brand stand out. Another platform that I'm very keen on is actually LinkedIn. LinkedIn has grown a ton over the last couple of years and has gone from a networking site to more of a social media. Now, while LinkedIn is primarily both written word and static or carousel images, there is still a need for video here. But the primary need for static and carousel means that Canva is going to help you even more. And most of the prominent creators that I personally follow on LinkedIn are primarily using Canva. The other cool thing about your LinkedIn profile is you're actually going to have a banner at the top of your LinkedIn profile that can help attract either more clients, more connections, or help you build your network. Another platform that is predominantly static photos, but has moved more into video over the last couple of years is Pinterest. Even if your brand doesn't have a plan for Pinterest yet, Canva is a great place to build the graphics, edit any photos, and even edit some small videos that you're going to post on Pinterest. Even on platforms like X or Threads, where a majority of the content is primarily just written, there is still a need for some static content to help stand out on the page. Really, any platform that you choose to build your content empire on, you're going to need some kind of graphic, even if it's just for a profile image. And Canva is going to be the easiest place to do that. Not only with the free account, but especially with the pro account, you're going to have access to more elements, graphics, and photos that you can use on your social media pages. When you get to a point in your content journey where you want to build a business behind it, you're going to need Canva to help you build things like logos, business cards, graphics for your website, and much, much more. I've personally helped brand businesses in about 7 different industries thus far with Canva, and I can tell you right now, it's by far the best tool. I've tested some other platforms. I used Photoshop for a long time, and don't get me wrong, I love Photoshop, but if you're just getting into the game and getting into content building, you want to learn that process a little bit faster, and Photoshop can take a little bit longer to learn. So regardless of what platform you're choosing, Canva can help you build the content that you need to stand out from the crowd. I briefly touched on it in each platform, but what kind of content can you actually build in Canva? With platforms like YouTube, the most standout platform that you can use graphics for is actually the YouTube thumbnails. It's one of the main ways that you're going to be able to connect with your audience and gain their attention, especially when you're first starting out. A big portion of that starting stage is just trying to gain their attention, and you're doing that with both the title of the video, the content, obviously, and the YouTube thumbnail. One thing that many people don't think about, though, is the graphics that are going inside your video. Any overlays or text that pops up on the screen, for the most part, aside from any captions. I'm building all of that for my videos in Canva, and I'm able to do it for multiple videos, usually one a week, as well as all the other platforms that I'm currently on. With most of the other platforms that take static or carousel content, Canva is going to help you out a ton with these, both in more seamless designs for your carousels or just individual slides as well. You can also build story posts for platforms like Instagram and Facebook. Things like reel covers on Instagram are a great thing to build as well. There's tons of templates that you can use in Canva to help get you started, or you can kind of build based on your own style if you have one already. Things like channel art are another great thing, especially with platforms like YouTube and LinkedIn. You've got banners for your channel or for your profile that can help you stand out, maybe connects with your audience a little bit more, or exactly portrays what your channel or page is all about. Once you get into the business side of things, if you want to start offering printable items or downloadable items, you can build all of those in Canva. And then the most prominent one, and one that I recommend that you make one for all of your platforms, is a profile photo. The profile photo is going to be easily recognizable across platforms. And even if it's just your headshot or maybe your company logo, having a profile image that is consistent across platforms is going to be paramount to people recognizing you on new platforms. So now that we know what kind of platform you can use it on, what kind of content you can build in Canva, where do we start? When building a personal brand or a presence on social media for your business, there's really two places that I recommend to start. Number one is to understand your audience. You want to understand exactly where they're at. What platforms are they using? Are they consuming more long-form content, more short-form content? Are they in the stories a little bit more? What kind of people are you trying to connect with? What is your target audience or your audience of one? The other portion of that is understand exactly who they are, what type of content they resonate with, what kind of issues they're facing, what kind of interests that they have, and how you can connect with those, not just to solve those problems, but to actually build a strong connection with your audience. That can help you determine which platforms you should start with and which ones you should maybe avoid to start. Another thing to think about is what kind of content do you think you're good at? Especially if you're a personal brand, you want to start with an area that you believe you're strong in. If you have a good visual eye, maybe in building static or carousel content, that's a way that you could go and choose a platform accordingly. If you feel like you're well-versed and that you can communicate to the camera very easily, which isn't a very easy thing to do, then you can start with long-form video. You can start with a talking head video, kind of like this, or you can talk with maybe a tutorial where you're walking through different items. You may also be a great writer. There are plenty of platforms where writing is very prominent and does very well. Platforms like X or Threads, LinkedIn is a very good one for just writing as well. And even Facebook has just a writing component where you don't have to post an image or a video with it. But understanding what kind of content you're good at or that you want to be good at is also a great starting place to help you find which platforms are going to be best fit for you. And when you find an intersection between where your audience is and what you're good at, that is where you should double down. Now, when I first started building out content about 1.5 years ago, I was trying to do everything. I was on Instagram, Facebook, I was trying to build YouTube videos, TikToks, I had a small LinkedIn presence, and I was doing a little too much. First of all, when you're doing that sort of thing, you're not learning anything very efficiently because your mind is in so many different places trying to grow in all these different platforms. A recommendation that I recently got from a mentor was pick one avenue, pick one avatar, or one voice that you're trying to portray, one thing that you're trying to teach. And when you get good enough at that avenue, pick an offer that you can start to sell on that avenue. So for me, when I got that advice toward the beginning or toward the end of 2023, I revamped a lot of my content. I put more focus into my YouTube channel / my podcast. I put more effort into my LinkedIn channel. Now, yes, I am still posting on Instagram or TikTok and Facebook, but I'm building everything primarily for LinkedIn or YouTube and regurgitating it everywhere else. Right now, while I learn the ins and outs of YouTube and LinkedIn, those are my primary avenues, and those are what I'm primarily concerned with trying to learn the nuances of. And I can still garner some attention on some of the other platforms with the content that I'm posting because I can understand some of the minor nuances that I need to change to make it work on those platforms. It's made a major difference. It'll help you lock in a little bit more on where your content is going, what kind of content is working a little bit better on that specific platform rather than trying to do that for 7 at a time. And it also helps you learn that process a little bit faster. So once you get through the process on your first avenue, then choose a second one and kind of move forward with that. And then from there, it's just about repetitions. This is going to take some time. I mean, I'm I'm very much in the early stages of my content journey. I have been building content for the last 4 or 5 years for other companies, but now I'm on my own journey. This is completely brand new to me, doing it for a personal brand side of things, and it's a journey for sure. But the biggest thing is, one, give yourself the freedom to practice. Be okay with not being good at something. That's one of the toughest things that we tend to deal with as humans, is that failure sucks, and being bad at something is not fun. But if you give yourself the freedom to be bad at something before you're good, you'll be good before you know it. And from one creator to another, I wish you good luck. Hopefully I've given you one thing today that you can move forward with in your content journey and actually take the leap on yourself. Thank you for joining me today on the Canva Code. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, follow me on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, and stay tuned for more insights on how to use design and Canva to thrive. Thank you for listening, and remember, you Canva do it.